I just
Right.
played off of instinct. I've just played off of instinct, and every time I had big games, in Atlanta, and it was all on the TV, ESPN, and the news down in Atlanta. I really never watched myself. After I did it, I maybe watched it on game footage, when we're going over the game as a team, but I never really watched myself. I just hear a lot about it. People come up to me, say, man, you had a great move, you had a great game, you balling. I just be like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. So I knew what I was doing because I was a high school phenom, a child prodigy out of New York. So I've been getting publicity my whole life. So really, I was just like, oh, thank you, kept a level head and just, competed. Those were my best times, man. Them 2 years at Georgia Tech and my 4 years at Malloy was this six year of straight joy. I was real passionate, man. I loved it. I can't put it no other way. Them 6 years playing basketball was a joy for me. And I just, played for that. I was real passionate, and I loved playing the game.
Okay. With that being said, how does it feel? You walk down, you're the big man on campus, you got the pressure on you. Yeah. Things are starting to roll now, but you got Dennis Scott, you got Brian Oliver, you got Dennis Scott killing them from deep, you got Brian Oliver killing them off the dribble. How does it feel to look, once you get to the tournament and then the Final Four, where are you at right then and there? Because the rest of us, we couldn't wait to see you on TV. What is Kenny Anderson thinking going into the NCAA tournament?
Oh, I'm enjoying, man. I'm happy. All my people back home in New York going to be able to see me on CBS, the NCAA Final Four. It was just it went like a blur, man. I don't remember so much about it. I just remember all the hoopla, the college hoopla. Each, how the NCAAs played out. Each regional, each weekend you play. So the whole school, whole Atlanta was all, in tune, and the student body. It just was real exciting time, man. A lot of basketball hoopla, and I enjoyed it. But like I said, it just went so fast, it was like a blur. So now you look back, as we get older, me, Dennis, Brian, Malcolm Mackey was my roommate. He was a forward on that team. All those guys, we were so close that we still talk to this day, and we just, we think back on the run we had, and we say it was very special. You know what I mean? And it just was an exciting time in my life, an exciting time for the school, and playing on that level of competition in the Final Four. It's a great thing.
Do you have a favorite game during that period of your life? Because that 6 year period, do you have a favorite game in high school and favorite game in college?
Oh, man, I have so many great games. My favorite high school probably is my freshman year that changed my life. You know what I mean? As far as recruiting and knowing that I arrived, I was like 15 years old, a freshman playing on the varsity level in a championship game against Talentine High School in the city. It was sold out in the Bronx at Fordham University, Rose Hill Gymnasium. And I never started as a freshman, so I would come in the second quarter, 3, 4, play the rest of the game because we had a senior ahead of me in high school. And I balled out, man. I had like 23 points, 7 assists. I think I had like 6, 8 points in overtime. The game went overtime. I took over the game, and I won the MVP as a freshman in the city championship. And that's right there changed my whole life after that. It just, really, really, really put me on the map, and all the colleges and everything started recruiting me, and after that it was just a snowball effect, So that was my best. That's the one game I had a lot of scoring, more points in games in high school. That was a special game of my life in high school. That was the game because it was a city championship, and I was a freshman. It was just so much going on that night. It was really a pressure cooker. It was really a pressure cooker. And there I was a freshman, didn't even really realize what was really going on. So my freshman year, winning the city championship and getting the MVP of the city championship was huge. And in college, maybe I had a bunch of college games that was great. But I would probably say just my run through until we lost to UNLV. You know, those 4 games, because to win the national championship, you got to win 6 games. We lost the 5th game. So the first 4, my run was just incredible, man. Every game I played that day, scoring, assists, everything, I couldn't do nothing wrong. It was just I was just on a roll, man, throughout the NCAA tournament, and I think I got most outstanding player in the Southeast Regional tournament, man. So it was just a great run for me my freshman year in college.
Yes, it was, my brother. Yes, it was. That UNLV team, were they, to us, they were larger than life. When you step on the floor with them and you see them, what's the first thing going through your mind?
I feared no one because I feared no one. I respected everyone. I'm coming from New York City. I was always on big stages. So playing in the playgrounds of the streets of New York City, coming where I came from, I respect Johnson, Craig Anthony, Stacey Augmon, my man Moses Scary from Brooklyn. He was on that team. We talk to this day. He knew where I was coming from. He knew I was going to go at them cats because that's just how I am. You know what I mean? So I was all excited.
Yeah.
I knew the country was going to be watching. I was like, man, I'm about to, give it to these dudes because this is what it's about. I didn't know anything. I didn't fear nothing. I was just going out there playing, and I just felt, that year we was winning all the close games, and we was just balling. I just was like, we're going to win this game. We're going to prove people wrong. And everybody on my team was confident. But we lost and to a very deep team, but we competed. We lost by 8-10 points. I got in some foul trouble, but we had them on the ropes, but we just couldn't finish it.
Man, that was one of the better. That was one of the. You guys were one of the few teams that actually challenged them that year, man. I definitely remember that. You know what? It's styles of play is what makes the player. And when I look at you, I look at these guys. They're explosive now. They're dunking. You come from the school of point guards not really dunking, and I miss that era because I can remember Dickie V hyping up the crowd. You stealing the ball from somebody, and everybody, you can tell that everybody in the stadium waiting on you to slam it, and you'll slap the board. Do you think that, what brought that about? Because then Kevin Johnson was really the only point guard dunking. That was the thing back then. What happened to that smooth guy, that thoroughbred that just let you know, hey, I could do what I want to do, but I'm going to do this real smooth, almost like a Big Daddy Kane kind of thing.
I just felt, everybody got, want ups and dunk and do all type of dunks, man. You're explosive. They feel that's more explosive, dunking the ball. That's just the era of the generation we're in, and that's awesome. Some guys could do it. I really wasn't a dunker, so I love the finger roll. I love to put it, shake somebody, skate on somebody, cross somebody up, and then just left-hand finger roll. That was like my dunk. I used to be like, coming from New York, the playgrounds, that's just what it was about. Now, which is exciting, you cross somebody over and you just slam it. Boom. That's explosiveness. That's an awesome thing to do if you could dunk. But I was just, with the finger roll or the floater or things of that nature,
Yeah. Trust me. I miss those days. I miss the days of the guy that just show you the ball, pump, and then lay it back up. I'm left-handed too. I'm not even in your neighborhood in regards to town. I'm not even in your city. But trust me, I miss those days of the guy showing the defender the ball, switching it over to his left hand or what have you, and then walking away. And what really drew me to you is you always looked as if you were having a ball out there. You always smiled. You had a magnetism to you. Is that something is that a New York thing, or is that just a point guard thing? Because Isaiah did the same thing, but it could just be a point guard thing.
I think it's a point guard thing, but it's also just where you from and what you like to do, what you like to get accomplished. Like you a big fan of Isaiah. He's from Chicago. I think I picked up some of his things, you know, when he was playing in Indiana and with the Detroit Pistons. You know, it's like joy, like to cross somebody up and hit a jump shot or go in the lane and do a floater. It's like, wow, you know, these are all the things we worked on in those gyms, you know, with our coaches, with our mentors for hours, and now we're perfecting it. So it's like, man, when it does happen in a game and you constantly doing it, it put a smile on your face, man. That's what you love to do. This is rewarding. This is all the work I put in, and now I'm able to show it, you know, to millions of people. It's like entertaining, and you're getting it done. That's what you're good at. So it makes you happy, man. So that's the game. That's what the game, you know, did for me. Through all the craziness that I was going through, the basketball, you know, gave me joy. You know, that was my outlet.
You always saw you as a smaller version of a Rod Strickland. Did you see that, or did he have a large influence on you?
Yeah, that's the Rod Strick, Mark Jackson, Pearl Washington, Kenny Smith. They all before me. They're about 4 or 5 years older than me. I watched a little bit of all of their games and try to put it in my games. You know, they were great. See, they was in the glory days in New York. See, those guys played against each other all the time because they're the same age, around the same age. But you know, all those, I give all the guards before me a lot of respect and love because I came after them, and you know, I wanted to do what they did and do it better. So they gave me that, you know, they gave me that light. You know what I mean? So I definitely respect all those guys.
In Chicago, high school basketball is starting to wet thin. I mean, for the first time in a very long time, I think the first time in my lifetime, we haven't had back-to-back years no McDonald's All-American. What's the state of high school basketball in New York?
It's not good. You know, it hasn't been good. But we've had, you know, from our old school, we have a couple of All-Americans, future All-Americans. And Cole Anthony was there. He's a junior. Then we had Moses. I think he was a McDonald All-American. Khalid Moore. Well, I think Khalid Moore was an All-American, and you know, this year from my school. So it's up and down. You know, it's like, you know, I like to used to call it, you know, New York the Mecca of basketball, but it's not the same no more. I just think it's not a lot of mentors, not a lot of coaches like it used to be. I think a lot has to do with it, you know, with the travel ball generation, and also with the generation of, you know, they're not playing basketball like we used to. A lot of the guys is rapping, get into music, get into different things, or they're moving out from New York because of the environments that they're in. They can't survive, you know, so they go to prep school and go from there. You know what I mean? So it's a lot different nowadays, you know, in New York City.
A lot of people are down on AAU. How do you feel about it?
Well, you can't be down on every program. I think there's some programs that don't do it the right way, and it's bad for the kids. They don't develop the kids. They're about, you know, exploiting the kids, you know, just out there to win a trophy and get X amount of money. But there's programs that really develop kids and put kids through college, and a lot of kids through college, and doing it the right way. So, you know, it's not everyone. You can't punish everyone, but it's a lot of programs that's not doing it the right way. You know, a lot of kids are not learning how to play the game, you know, a la overseas. They're not knowing how to play the fundamentals, learn the right way to play the game. Over here it's just about shooting threes and dunking, things of that nature. They don't know the fundamentals. So, you know, exactly. I think we behind a little bit, but I think we can get it back.
Oh, good. That's definitely. Now, the big story in college basketball right now is, should they pay the players? Look at all this money that we're making for the school, and we're not getting anything. How do you view that?
Yeah, I think the players should get something, but I don't know. I don't have the solution. You know, I don't know how you could do it, but I think they should think about letting the athletes hire a marketing company